Alrighty, hey yo, what is up, Knights? Aegis here, back with some more DFO Rush, this time on my Dark Templar. Now guys, I will admit that even though this is not the end of the series, this is the very last character that I got to leveling. And no real particular order. I think I just want to get all the female slayers out of the way right now, so we're doing Dark Templar. And this is the last character I leveled, as I just said. So even that being said, she you wouldn't know it just by looking at her gear, because she's, again, another character who's in full halidom, and her weapon is actually the Marvelous weapon, the Marvelous short sword, because, again, most of my other characters already had weapons, and because she was so new, she didn't, so I got her the Marvelous short sword, which is plus 13. And as we walk to the dungeon entrance, let me just tell you about that miracle weapon, and I'm not confident enough very well on my Dark Templar, but let me tell you about that Marvelous weapon. It was Hitler. The event was Hitler. We all knew it. It's a reinforcement event, and you know, it could very well be possible that you could walk away without a plus 13. And I think I was gonna be one of those people if we didn't find out about the oh so gracious, I guess, exploit of us getting Marvelous shards, which at this point it's a little bit too late to talk about it, so I wasn't going to make a video about it or anything, but you know, if it wasn't for the fact that you can get a bunch of shards very easily, I don't think I would have a plus 13, and I don't know. It's just, it's not rewarding to have events that are like that, obviously, especially if you're one of those guys who just couldn't get it, right? You weren't lucky enough to get it, and quite frankly, that margin of people was too large. A lot of us would have just been salty, whereas, you know, we put in the time for the event and we'd had nothing to show for it. And, you know, even me, I was getting so unlucky that I couldn't even, for the longest time, I couldn't even get plus 12. So let me just complain about that, because, you know, for events that you're trying to give people free stuff for participating, you're making it really hard when you're putting it behind just luck RNG gates. But all that being said, guys, we're getting canceled a bunch here, and maybe Master's a little bit too easy because of the fact that I have a plus 13. So I'm going to King real quick. But Dark Templar, let me talk about her now. Enough about the Marvelous weapon. She has a plus 13. Obviously, this makes her very potent. And this is actually the second time I've leveled a Dark Templar. I'll be honest, the first time I leveled her was on the second account, and she actually has a plus 12 Phoenix Sword, because that was the time I made it. I wasn't actually planning on making all the female slayers on this account. Had a change of heart, decided I'll do it again, just to have all the female slayers on one account. And so this is the second time I've played her, and the first time I played her was before All-in-One, and so I got to play her again after All-in-One, and I'd say that she actually feels out of all the female slayers, she feels the most the same after and before All-in-One. She just, everything about her almost feels exactly the same. The fact of the matter is, though, she got like 2 new skills, which is, I don't even say would be all that necessary skills, albeit there are quite strong. Most importantly, this one right here is probably your strongest AoE now, which is a new one that was added after All-in-One. But aside from that, you got this Soul Drain right here, which is pretty nice. And you also got, like I just showed you, the Liberation Buckshot. I think you got 1 extra skill, a little bit hazy on the memory from before All-in-One, but just trying to remember how it was before that patch. So anyway, we shouldn't even be talking about All-in-One, because after All-in-One, we got, you know, very recently, we got the Second Awakening, so I should show that off. She's got a cool laser Kamehameha skill, which I have at level 1. In fact, I kind of found it that most of the high-level skills I only like having at level 1 because they're strong enough as it is, right? Sometimes you might want to feel like compelled to level these high-level skills, but generally I'm of the opinion that if it's strong enough to kill the trash mobs in one hit, it's strong enough for me. So I like keeping it at level 1 and then leveling the more consistently high damage skills like the Destroyer right here, which obviously should be leveled since it's so good. But anyway, that's just my opinion. So I showed off both of the new skills. What I didn't show off was the Awakening, and this guys is why I wanted to play the Dark Templar right now, because I could not wait any longer. You want to see the coolest Awakening in this game? Here it is. Oh yeah! And sadly, the dragons was in the way a little bit, so you couldn't see the full animation. We'll do it again, but you turn into this like Shadow Knight, and you do these slashes? Are you kidding me, game? As I just show you with Venomine here. Like, that is the coolest thing ever. That is the coolest thing ever. you are doing these slashes, the whole screen turns white, you're this black knight, you're just slicing across the whole screen. That's fucking cool. It's mostly the fact that she transforms into a black knight. Like literally, she transforms into like this demon knight. Fucking dopeness. We'll do it again here. You see that knight right there? Oh man, and then the slices. I'm sorry. You can't get over the fact that it's a demon knight. You can't even lie about that. That's just cool. That's why they did, because it was so cool. Anyway. In fact, I kind of feel like the image of the Dark Templar ruins it afterwards, right? Because she's just her normal Dark Templar self right, afterwards. She should be the knight self and do the cut in it. Anyway, so I have a high opinion that Second Awakening is the coolest one that is out so far. Like out of all my characters, out of all of them. Even my monk, you know, which I generally really like my monk. Yeah, that doesn't hold a candle to how cool that is. Anyway, moving on here. The Call to Fame of this class is all about her holds, right? That's what anybody will ever talk about this class, is that she has holds. You'll notice that on my hotkey bar and then the skills I'm using, my rotation, I don't incorporate hardly any holds. I don't do scaffold, I don't do deadly cape. I guess that's just kind of indicative of what I think of this class. Or why I'd want to play this class is just for using the AoEs and damage skills. So, I guess, of course, I'm not really focusing on being a hold slave here, but and again, that's why she's in Halidums. I'm not taking her all that seriously. If you wanted to be taking Dark Templar seriously and going into high-level content, you'd have to build her differently. You'd have to build her like a hold slave. So, you're talking tainted on scaffold and tainted on certain skills that focus around trying to get you more hold utility, but not focusing on that with this character. And like I said, not taking this character too seriously because of that. And, not a great high opinion of this class, I'll be honest. Like I haven't gotten an opportunity to really talk about this class. I haven't made any videos on her, but I know I've made her twice, but I'm not of that high opinion of her. She has some okay AoEs. It's just like I don't really like her kit that much. She doesn't have any buffs to worry about. Instead, she gets points based on how many enemies she kills, and then she can use those points to, I guess, down her line of skills right here, either in the Liberate Buckshot or the Liberate Madness, which is the big AoE, or the direct shots that I'm using to shoot at enemies. Sometimes I will randomly shoot these lasers at enemies, and that's just, I guess, the culmination of their souls getting shot at other people. Right there, you can see right there, shooting them at them. And it's really nice to kill off enemies who are just like the last ones there. It auto-homes in on people, they can't dodge it, they're gonna get hit. And I don't have to aim it at all since it just kind of shoots free will right there. So as long as I have the souls to do it, it's just a matter of just pressing the button and it's gonna kill these guys. So I don't really like that aspect of her. It's convenient. Like all of her, I would say her whole kit is just convenient. But because of that, I just don't feel it all that fun to play. And maybe you guys can give me your opinions. And quite frankly, I don't see a lot of Dark Templars out there who aren't just, you know, the hold slave variety. We're actually using it, maybe trying to get, I know there are OV sets that maybe can increase your damage. But yeah, I'm not of the variety that's holding, so maybe you DT mates can tell me your call to fame for the class. One other thing that I didn't realize is actually that you might notice some of my animations are a little bit different. That's because of the Vespers passive, which is their Second Awakening passive. So it's literally changing some of the animations. For instance, this one right here, which is the Shadow Clone. Odd name for a skill, honestly, since there's another skill called Shadow Clone, which is something completely different. Anyway, Shadow Clone only shoots a wave now outward. Before it shot a wave towards you, then a wave outward. So they kind of condensed the animation there. And yeah, I'm not really privy to all of the animations that change, but you get the idea, right? If you notice anything different with your Dark Templar, maybe it's because you're not Second Awakening yet. You haven't tried out the Second Awakening, because it's pretty cool like that. Anyway, we're getting it drilled here. One really potent skill, I haven't mentioned it yet, but you do have a lot of very, very, very potent skill, and mostly it's the Black Mirror right here, which is surprising, like deceptively high damage. Like maybe you don't realize it, but Destroyer isn't your only high damage skill. That if you are able to have the opportunity to cast Black Mirror on somebody, it just keeps hitting them and for a lot of damage, probably multiple times. So I guarantee you, probably Black Mirror will kill this guy alone because of how much damage it does. One more tick. Yeah, it did quite a few bars of it, so it almost killed that guy in one skill. So it's something that you would place down on somebody, just kind of make an area of, like, area of AOE type of area of effectiveness, area of effect type of attack, like a something you put on the floor just to damage them while you're also deepsing them out. It's kind of crazy, but anyway, guys, thanks for watching. That's a little bit of Dark Templar, my opinions. My second Dark Templar, who is rocking that +13 weapon. And I will catch you knights later.